Hello, everybody. So just looking to do a quick review here today on the scientific revolution. Being able to define and describe the scientific revolution is the goal here in this lesson. So the first question that we start off with was, how do we know what we know? And considering where we get our information from, is it from personal experiences? Is it from learning from other people who came before us? Is it through reading, research, technology? Where are we gaining our information, and making the connection to how in the scientific revolution we are building off of prior knowledge that someone else has discovered to acquire and gain new knowledge. So in the scientific revolution here we have our basic context period between 1500s and 1700s. Scholars started to question the beliefs and base their conclusions on observation and reason rather than spiritual beliefs or what organizations like the Catholic Church told them. And this comes on the heels of the Protestant Reformation, where now we are starting to question the Catholic Church, question their power, question their teachings, and that leads us to many new discoveries in this period of time. So scholars start by questioning, is Earth or Sun the center of the solar system? Why things fall down instead of up, how the human body works. So we have findings in the fields of astronomy, anatomy, mathematics, biology, chemistry, physics, and we are using the process of the scientific method to explore, experiment, and observe the evidence and confirm our results. So we have this birth of new knowledge here in this time period. And the scientific revolution was founded on the works of many Greek, Roman, and Muslim scholars that came before this time period during the Ottoman and Byzantine empires. During the Middle Ages, Muslim scholars who are making these great strides in scientific discoveries, what has already been found is what is leading to the scientific revolution having a good starting place. So I'm able to start and test what someone else before me thought and see, is that correct? Is that not correct? And again, looking for the truth and the answers to how the world works around us. So again, little overview here: scientific revolution, series of events that mark the emergence of modern science during the early modern period, when developments in mathematics, physics, astronomy, biology, and chemistry transform the views of society about nature. Some of the examples that we looked at: the solar system, how the human body works, gravity. So if you take a pencil and a water bottle right in front of you right now, hold them up at the same height and release them at the same time, they will hit the ground at the same time. And these types of discoveries is now we know these things, but back then it was trying to figure out, what does that mean? Why is that happening? And doing experimentation to figure that out. One of the major discoveries was Copernicus's heliocentric model. Helio meaning the sun as the center of the solar system. Previously, we had Ptolemy's geocentric model, geo meaning Earth, where Earth was in the center of the solar system. And this was very much based on religious belief that God had created the earth and God was holding earth in his hands. So therefore, why would the earth not be at the center of the solar system? So this was a major challenge. Copernicus was labeled as a heretic, an outlaw within the Catholic Church. And we have this quote down here by Galileo. With sincere heart and unprecedented faith, I reject and detest the aforesaid errors and heresies of Copernicus. I swear that in the future I will never again say or assert anything that might cause a similar suspicion towards me. So in this quote, we really see how the church still has power over these scientific discoveries, and how these scientists are making discoveries, and even if they are true and factual, when it's challenging the church, it poses a threat to them, it poses a threat to the church and the church's power, and how the people view the world, and how people view the societal structures that have existed. So if you want to keep a good standing, you have to kind of still play within the lines a little bit, is what Galileo is trying to do here. So the heliocentric model is the accurate model. This is true. The sun is in the center of our solar system today. Ptolemy was incorrect in placing the Earth at the center of our solar system. So Copernicus's model was correct, even though Galileo says he rejects these ideas because they are anti-church. Copernicus's model was correct. These are great images that you can see in documents on exams, like the Regents exam. So these are two great images to keep in mind. And make sure you're reading them carefully if you see them with the Earth in the center or the sun in the center. Just some more context here. Again, the influence of the Renaissance on the scientific revolution, this period of discovery, and then just like a nice list of some of the many, many things that were discovered, ideas during this time period of the scientific revolution. And then two examples of people to look at: Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, famous for his 3 laws of motion: an object will remain in a state of inertia unless acted upon by force. The relationship between acceleration and applied force is F equals ma, and for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Newton had a very interesting life. He worked his way through school, cleaning other students' dorms. When there was a closure of the school due to the spread of disease, he went back home and he discovered the laws of motions. And the Principia, one of his most famous works, one of his most influential works, and he became an influential figure, discovering so many things, such as the existence of gravity. These provided Newton and later scientists with an understanding of movement of objects, the role of force, and could use them to design complex machines and fueled innovation into the future. Later on in life, he did a lot of study with light and alchemy later on in his life. So a fascinating figure in Isaac Newton, who's very influential within the scientific community and how we understand how the world works today. And another example is a scientist who happened upon his discovery, not intentionally, Henning Brand. Henning Brand was an alchemist, and alchemists are those who believe that by experimentation and magic you can turn one substance into something else. So Henning Brand believed that he could make gold out of something similar in color, which was human urine. So he gathered 1,500 gallons of urine, heated it to evaporate the water, and experimented on it further to try and turn urine into gold, which he was never successfully able to do. But what he was able to do was become the first person to isolate an element that is not normally found by itself in nature, and he named it phosphorus. So today, phosphorus is used in fertilizers to grow plants, matches. So Brand was the first of many natural philosophers to discover elements during the scientific revolution, and it was by happenstance that he discovered phosphorus. So it wasn't his intended goal of his research, but an amazing discovery nonetheless. So just keeping in mind some of the different discoveries that were made during this time period, but also the influence of these discoveries on society and how people think, view the world, and how it influences where we have come today. All right, hope this little summary of the scientific revolution helped you.